This is a sagittal slice of a human brain, almost exactly in the midline, and I'm going to point out various structures starting with the brainstem. Here's the brainstem, and this big structure right here is the pons. And just above the pons, or actually laying on top of the pons, is the basilar artery right here. And the basilar artery is a main artery supply for blood to the brain. And we can see a little bit of fibers right here. This would be the medial lemniscus. And the medial lemniscal pathway carries information about touch, light touch, vibration, and conscious proprioception from the spinal cord. And this right here is the decussation of the superior cerebellar peduncles. The superior cerebellar peduncles are the main output routes from the cerebellum. And this is the cerebellum right here. And we can see the nodulus portion of the cerebellum. We can see the anterior lobe and posterior lobe right here, and a little bit up here. And the primary fissure would probably be like right there. Okay, then we have the midbrain right here. And within the midbrain we have the tectum and tegmentum, which is this structure right here. And the tectum contains the inferior colliculus, which is involved in sound modulation and mapping of the auditory environment. And then we have the superior colliculus, very difficult to see, but it would be located right there, which is involved in visual reflexes and other visual tracking information. Then we have the posterior commissure, bundle of white fibers connecting the hemispheres. Just above the posterior commissure we have the pineal gland, which is this structure right here. Okay, now we have the cerebral aqueduct, which is this space right here, and the cerebral aqueduct connects the third ventricle with the fourth ventricle. This is the fourth ventricle right here, and this is the third ventricle. And we can also see a little bit of the lateral ventricles right here. This would be the anterior horn. And of course we will see choroid plexus, which would be this right here, which is responsible for creating CSF, cerebral spinal fluid. Okay, now we can see the mammillary bodies right here, which is a part of the limbic system involved in memory. And this is the optic chiasm right there. And we can see the anterior commissure right here, which is a bundle of white fibers also connecting the left and right hemispheres. And this structure right here is the thalamus, which would be a part of the diencephalon. And it's very difficult to see, but I guess we could see the dorsomedial and maybe some of the midline nuclei right there. And just above the thalamus we'll see the fornix right here, and corpus callosum would be right up here. And we can also see a little bit more of the choroid plexus right there. And that looks like about the major structures in this particular slice.